everyone, welcome back. This is Denise, and today I thought I would start working in this handmade art journal that I haven't ever used. And this is a book that I made in my class, Bare Spine Beauty, so it's got an open spine here. And I've got that class on my website and on Skillshare, so I do link the links to my site and Skillshare below in the description. And these are really fun because I love how beautiful the open spine is. And I was kind of thinking that I want this book to be abstracts. And I kind of want it to be like tall, skinny abstracts. And what if we did a colorway and did two tall, skinny abstracts in the same colors, but let some color be dominant over here and a different color be dominant over there. Like, what do you think about that? And then you can see how maybe two different colorways could work, or how one colorway could work on two different paintings. And what if we started it out with like a swatch of whatever it is that we've decided to do in this book? So for instance, if I make this a gouache book, these are my Holbein Gouache that we just put in pans yesterday. Of course, be far out by the time it gets to being posted, but this is like one day of drying. And usually what I do is I go through and I just saturate it all when I sit down, and that way it has time to really kind of reincorporate and get nice and juicy and usable, because the gouache are a little different than the watercolor. So go ahead and just reactivate those when you sit down, and by the time you're ready to actually create, it's ready for you. So I think I'll start this off with a color swatch of what we're using, and I can list it down below. And then every time we go to look at this book, we've started off with that color swatch. And of course we could do, you know, whatever watercolor or material that we wanted to do. I want to do it in the gouache. And since we just created that palette, I think that would be lovely. And I want to do it in a similar fashion that I kind of plan on doing the other pages, I think. So I think I'll start off with the swatch page. And then we'll be ready to paint some abstracts. And this tape is my Holbein artist tape. I like it because it's kind of like a washi tape. And it's not quite as thick as the painter's tape. I do still love the painter's tape though. But I've been experimenting with the washi tape and I like it a lot, so I'm just going to use it to tape off some of these. And this book that I made is it is all honeymeal paper. These books are pretty cool because you could have one pad of paper. This is the honeymeal one. You have one pad of paper and use the back for the front and the back of the book, and one pad of paper made this whole book. So it's a really nice way to extend how far one pad of paper can go, because look at all the pages that we can now paint, because you know they're folded in half, and all of a sudden we've got like way more surfaces. It's going to be beautiful because we're making it into a book that we can then share and show off and display, and just kind of have some fun there. Okay, let's just kind of, oh yeah, we're close. It's close enough to be in the right size. So what I'm going to do is kind of mark off where I want my lines. Doesn't have to be perfect. I'm just looking for close enough. Close enough is good enough. And then I got my little T-square here, and I can just kind of draw off my grid like so. And then just like when I made that swatch thing there, that I laminated this thing, I'm just going to do the same thing here and use my water brush. This is definitely the absolute best way to swatch, is have a water brush. Even if you don't use it for anything else but this one task, which, let me tell you, I'm really not a water brush person. They're good if you're, you know, traveling and you're out doing things with, and you just want like one brush and some water without it being a lot of effort. But I don't really paint out in the open like that. I don't do the travel things like that. So I never use them. I don't like that it's a little tiny brush rather than a great big fat brush like a mop brush or a good round brush. So it's just not my thing normally. And I do like them for this one task because it took all of the stress out of making swatches, because now you don't have to keep clean water except for in the brush itself, and you just wipe off the end of it with a tissue and you're ready to go to the next color rather than getting your water dirty and all that stuff. So this is the Tombow one. It's just a random one that I had. I've not bought any of these myself. They've all come, and I just use a pipette to put the water in it. They've all come in one of my sketch boxes through the years. So I have several different water brushes, but this is the one that when I was looking, I found first in my boxes. And now we are ready to swatch these out onto the first page of our journal. What I need is for somebody who does pretty hand lettering to come and write in my book for me, because my writing is a little bit like a doctor's handwriting. You might not be able to read it. I'll put this here just so I kind of contain any color off my lid. My lid, front of my book. There we go. Alright, and then I'm just going to use a water brush and just swatch these, and then I can put underneath each of these what it was that I used. And so I think that'll be a fun way to start this, is whatever material you're going to be using in the book. Let the first page be your color swatches for the book. How fun would that be? So I'm going to go ahead and just paint these real quick so that we can get this done and then move into maybe a painting. Because I feel like it's going to be fun working in here. Another thing I like about using a book is now you don't have to worry about what are you going to do with that. Well, it's a beautiful art book when you're done, and I love that. Let me tell you, as this book ages, if it's exposed to the light, all these pinks are going to eventually disappear. Pinks are just fugitive colors. There's nothing you can do about that. But if the book is mostly closed, it'll last a long time. You could spray it with like an archival UV spray, but you definitely don't want to sit this in a window. They will disappear like almost immediately. Pinks are just not color fast. Pinks and some oranges. Blues and greens are more color fast sometimes than pinks. Just the nature of the beast. Doesn't really matter what material you're using. It's probably going to fade if you leave it sitting out where the light can get to it. Alright, now that we have got that done, I'm kind of thinking that when I pull this off, that it might be nice to have some type of border around it. Alright, I'm going to try to pull this off without heating the tape if I can. Oh yeah, it pulls off nicely. It's the handmade paper, so it's one of my favorite for peeling tape anyway. But I'm kind of thinking like some type of border, and I've done a class that I made a while back where we made pretty color palettes and then we framed them in different decorations like pen and ink and some stamp work and stuff like that. I'm not feeling anything super fancy because this book is, you know, about like the Japanese aesthetic here with the lovely cherry blossom trees, and I don't feel like I want like full-on Victorian or Rococo or like over-the-top doolollies, but I do feel like I want to frame it out in maybe a few, kind of like it's framed in like a picture frame, like framed out with some black ink. I think that would be pretty. What do you think? So, kind of thinking I need a ruler. Oh yeah, like a clear one would be great. And whatever, how about if we do like gold? Do we think gold? Like I'm kind of thinking like, not quite even, but like framed out and like a 2 or 3 line kind of thing. Do we like the gold? Or do we need to get like a black? Let's see here. There's a random, it's the Steadlers. See, these might be gray. I mean, they should be black. I don't know, the black. Okay, so that would be black and that would be gold. Are we thinking black? Or are we thinking gold? Kind of thinking gold. I kind of want that panda fly pen because the that gold is the panda fly and I like it. We're gonna do it in gold. We're just doing it. We're just doing it. So I got a ruler here to kind of keep me like where I want to be. Like kinda, but it doesn't have to be exact. And I like that it's clear because then I can line up this divot, this little bevel here with my page. And then I can like have that be like framed pretty even all the way. I'm not looking for perfect. Not looking for perfect. Usually when I'm doing stuff like this, I'm looking for interest, not perfection. So if all my lines don't add up perfect, I'm okay with that. I mean, I do kind of want them to line up, but I'm not going to say, oh, I've ruined the whole page because something lined up or didn't line up. Which is good because I just don't do perfection. Like I might have been going for when I was younger. Which is good because I used to be super frustrated with, you know, doing art things and nothing being perfect, and now I'm not frustrated anymore. And if you get enough like layers like this right here, then you can't tell if it's perfect or not. It doesn't matter. It just adds to the interest at that point. I'm going to turn. Ooh, look at that. Let's do another one. Yeah. I love it already. And again, not really going for perfection, just going for fun interest. It's our sketchbook. I'm not trying to make it so stressful that we can't even enjoy the process of the painting and the play. Why does it do that on that side? I do want it to be a solid line, not a not a line where the ink gave out. There we go. And again, I'm just using the divot on the ruler to give my size. See, now it kind of looks like we did it in a great big gold frame, which is what I wanted. And I think I'm going to end it off with one more kind of on the outside of that. With like a little lip out here, so it really did kind of look like a frame. Okay, the last side was the least even. Don't worry about it, it's not a gigantic deal. And then I'm going to write in here what this was. So this was our Holbein Artist Gouache. And there we go. Now we know what it is. And we could put the year if we wanted to. You know, if you wanted to kind of commemorate when you started or did the sketchbook, you could put the year, your choice. But I think that's a fun way to start our book. And then just make sure it's dry. And then we'll be ready to paint on the other side. So, hope you had fun today getting started with me on our Holbein Artist Gouache abstract paintings book, and then we will work our way through this lovely book doing some lovely color palette challenges and making abstract paintings. I want them all to be tall and skinny, kind of like I did that right there, and just see what we can create in this book. So I hope you join me on this lovely painting journey and this beautiful handmade book, and I'll see you guys next time.